Another one. Another one. Oh my god, another one. Another one.
Hello guys, can you hear me? Sound check, sound check. Heard. Great, great. How are y'all doing today? Looking slick, thank you, thank you. Favorite streamer? Thank you, thank you. Total domination. That is awesome. That is awesome. I actually plan a little trip to a very specific crater today in game, but I have bad news. My hard drive broke down a few days ago, and I'm not set up currently, it seems. So not sure if I have the opportunity right now. I'm doing pretty good, thank you. Pretty good. Can't complain. We've been working pretty hard. So, as you all know, we're getting very much closer to deliver finally our Necromancy patch. It's been a little bit delayed on our end for a few reasons. We want to polish and bug fix quite a lot. So this patch is quite huge when it comes to polishing and bug fixing also, including with obviously the Magic School, new locations, and bus gameplay, and quite a lot of things packed in this patch. And it's also we are in between two new systems, the old system and a new structure system. I mentioned this a little bit in my previous stream, where since we're expanding, it's important that we have an efficient structure and system in place, so we can keep full stability and keep track of everything that we are developing, testing, and confirming and deploying eventually. So this patch is a little bit in between the new and old structure. So it's been a little delayed for various reasons in regards of that, but also since we want to fix a lot of things and make sure that anything we add now in upcoming patches are heavily tested and as stable as possible it can be. And one of those bugs actually that we have fixed is the height variation on houses, strongholds, and keeps. When someone is running in air or someone is running down in the ground. Finally seems to fix that one. So no more running in ground or air. So that will be quite an improvement when fighting around and inside those structures. It's a very long list, and obviously we'll have that list when we patch. There's still a few of those big issues that I mentioned before that we have on our upcoming patch that we still haven't finished for this one. And again, we don't want to prolong this patch far too long just to crank in as many things as possible, including a lot of fixes. You can expect to see a lot of fixes coming from moving forward from after Necromancy patch as well. Heavy focus on some of the core issues, and just making sure that we are in a stable position again before we start adding more content and features. No, there will be not Necromancy patch today. We are very close. We are fine-tuning, polishing, and making sure it's stable, so we don't have to, hopefully, not have to follow up on fixes on the new functions that we added. I don't want to say yet what we are aiming for, as again, it will be sad to disappoint if we need another day or not. So I still want to refrain from giving our internal dates or estimates on going live with Necromancy. But it's getting very close. We are trying to wrap things up, and as soon as we have confirmed those bugs that we have identified and gone through, confirmed all the content, that's when we plan to go live. And as you know before, we do want to go live early in the weeks as well, so not in the end of the weeks, so we can relax a little bit during the weekends. Already disappointed. That's too bad. That's too bad. Just fix basic things. Total domination. Indeed. Indeed. Monday confirmed? Nah. When is the pay model coming to the game? The subscription won't start until we have hit a certain milestones. As I mentioned, again, we have a list of bugs and issues that affects most of the players sooner or later. We want to make sure we have those under control. We're getting closer to hit our mark when it comes to performance capacity on Myrland. And there's a few other areas also that we want to reach before we reinitiate launching on Epic Games Store platform, starting marketing activities again, and a whole new awareness of the game again. We have good communication with a lot of influencers that are really excited about the game, and they're standing by ready for also picking things up when we do the so-called re-release or whatever, the new release on Epic Games platform as well. So a lot of focus on polishing the newbie experience and such. Beastmaster is not with Necromancy patch. Part of the housing fixes and this extending time for polish includes being able to use bags in house boxes. So you mean open up a bag in a chest? Yeah, that is a very high quality of life option for sure. We don't have that option for a specific reason right now, but hopefully, yes, soon we'll be able to offer that as well. We know how that is convenient. The basic Necromancy skill will be available to obtain from start in Haven or all in open. No, you won't be able to teach anything about Necromancy on Haven. You need to be in Myrland and find some of the areas where you can start discovering Necromancy. When is Necro patch? Everyone is quitting. Set a date. Your lack of communication when you're like a month late is causing you to bleed players, many of which won't come back. So as we said many times, the Necro patch is being worked on very hard, and we want to make sure that we deliver it stable and polished. We've seen people expecting it to be buggy and not polished. Obviously we want to prove that to be the opposite. It doesn't do as well if we release huge, highly anticipated content or features and just quickly to see if there's bugs or issues or problems in those systems. So we think it's much better to make sure that when we deliver it, it's going to take a little bit more time, but we want to make sure that it's stable, heavily tested, and should be a smooth experience for you guys when you finally get it. So yeah. I was born in bugs and leg. More than one was a different story for various reasons as well. And, I fully understand. It doesn't matter what I say in here, right? Trying to explain what's going on, the reasons for it. It doesn't really matter if, I guess if you have insight in game development, things makes a little bit more sense. But other than that, I think it's very important that whatever we deliver from here moving forward on needs to speak for itself and not me speaking for what we are trying to do. I mean, obviously, we're trying to set up or give the information of what's going on and what our plans are. But as I said, I think it's very important that our progression and patches will speak for themselves. So you guys, get first-hand experience and can evaluate your experience on the game based on that instead. Yeah, so with the new structure and system in place, more and new developers in place, securing that, hopefully we'll see the result of that moving forward. Like I said, Necromancy is in between, but moving forward from that, there should be a clear, distinct difference, hopefully positively noticeable. And we're moving to Unreal 5. So it's slowly, it's a progress, right? So it's still in the progression where we need to go through pretty much all the content to make sure that it looks normal and works. And we want to also take the opportunity to optimize certain areas that we know can be quite a bit optimized in the world when moving over, because we are going through all the materials, etc. We take the opportunity to also optimize those areas so the world actually feels smoother when traveling around without unnecessary performance drains. But we will make some roadmap updates soon where you will see where all those parts are expected to be in a certain order. Minus exact date of release, and we will also start showing the progression of the areas that now we are transferring over to Unreal 5. So you will follow that progression as well, and you will see the quite amazing updates. Finally being able to use lumens, nanites, and those next-gen features for Unreal 5 that is not present in Unreal 4. So yeah, we're getting quite excited the more we look into that progression and the result we're getting, and we will share that quite a bit down the road. We don't have a date yet on the Necromancy patch. Other than that, we are getting very close. As I mentioned, we want to make sure that all Q&A, quality of assurance test sessions are approved, and that we have finished all those bugs reported, and that we can't find anything else that is annoying or bad or broken or buggy in any way or form. As soon as that is approved, that's when we go live with it. And like I said, we added a ton of fixes, quality of life and bug fixes in this patch as well, next to polishing and bug fixing the new content. Why do you all decide not to go with the MO one-mount archery system? We are simply lacking the wobble system that will be on the upcoming roadmap. It's one of those quite important balance factors that is needed for mounts, especially when we're getting new mounts over time as well. This game I need to pay in the future. So when we reach that important, huge milestone and starting re-releasing the game, such as reaching out to new platforms and starting the marketing campaign again, influencers, all of that, all those programs starting, we plan to have a certain milestones, both in terms of content and obviously making sure that stability, polish, and the gaming experience is where it needs to be for players to feel it's all right to start supporting the development and continue keeping the game development moving forward by having an active subscription. So yes, a subscription-based model is required eventually, and that is for very important reasons. We don't want it to be pay to win. We don't want you to be locked behind content to microtransaction payments all over the place, which is a common business model for many games today, but it severely hinders a better gaming experience that we want Mortal 9 to be for many years to come. And we also usually get a certain type of players that have a little bit more serious investment in the game, and therefore also may give a little bit more serious gaming experience towards each other in the game. So, increasing that quality of gaming experience overall is something we want to have for sure. And looks like the majority of our players that understand our type of game also supports the subscription-based model over pay-to-win or microtransaction or all that. So I hope that makes sense. Is Unity 5 Lite more important than the core features of the G being placeholders? Not sure if I understand what you mean, Albanjo. Can you clarify a little bit? No, it's quite expected that the player count is dropping while we are in this state. And we have commented on that on several times as well. We're not here to do a rush, grab cash, disappear. We're here to build and expand on a great, unique sandbox MMORPG for many years to come, over 10 years, more than Mortal 1. And try to run that as successful as possible so we can keep growing, expanding, and just offer a unique game that is not on the market, nothing like Mortal 9. And since we had a very rough release with several issues, we had to take one step back and examine everything and make sure that how do we move forward from here, how do we improve the game experience and the quality, and making sure that players that can commit to this game when we reach that big milestone feel that they're getting a value and return, obviously, for the money invested. That's obviously the important goal for us. Expanding devs team lately? Yeah, we've been slowly expanding the team, and now we need to be careful as well, not just to throw in especially coders that needs to go through a certain structure setup to make sure that we don't cause instability or adding issues to our patches and have those under control. So it's a certain way where we can't just grow quickly, even though we have the money to do it currently. We need to be careful to make sure that we have a very effective system in place, and also introducing new developers in a correct pace without putting the original developers on hold, if that makes sense. We can be a little bit more loose when it comes to some of the artwork, just producing some specific content. But also in that area, I would say that they have to also adapt a little bit to the working structure and also how to work with Unreal 5. So we don't have to add additional workload on our senior artists. So that's a progression that is moving forward. I think those dungeon priest is removed in next patch, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, we're looking at supporting regional pricing for subscription. We get the patch this month. Channel. Yes. I dare to say yes to that. I think we need to run into extreme disasters if we can't make it this month. So I'm very confident that we are quite close. We show any sneak peeks today? Actually, we're planning to jump in the game and have a little game session, but I have bad news. As I mentioned when I started, I'm not up to date with my game on this computer since I got a new hard drive. So I'm not sure if I can make that today, sadly, because I was looking forward to do some total domination at a very certain location, if you know what I mean. But there will be plenty of opportunities to do some gaming sessions in upcoming streams, I'm sure. I'm a little behind here, guys, so I'm gonna scroll down. Sorry if I'm missing anything important, but I'm quite behind. All right, let's see. So we're currently hiring any remote position NA? Yes, we have a lot of people all over the world in, all types of countries, quite spread out. It all depends quite a bit as well on the position. King of Tefra. Can you do a sneak peek at Tefra Crater? What do you mean sneak peek? Would there be more NPCs in a huge castle, maybe be able to go into door? You mean the Tindremic castle into the mountain? Yes, we plan to open that up in the future. There's a few sections in Tindrem that would be open up to the players over time. And it plans to make the game more PvP friendly again. More friendly to PvP. I think this is one of the most open PvP MMORPG game on the market currently, if I'm not mistaken. There is no limitations. You can PvP anywhere. You guys work on this game like on a hobby or full job? This is our full-time job. We are about 40 people working full-time and even more at times when we need to. So that is also why obviously we need to have some kind of income, and to run the servers, the team development, the staff, the support, the server, everything obviously costs money, right? So that is why we need something in return for the game and to keep them running. Are you aware that Necromancy have been super hyped up now? No, I mean, we all know what Necromancy is, right? Especially from the first game. We are refining it, making it cooler and upgrading it a little bit. but it is a very important school that a lot of players, especially mages, have been waiting for. So it's going to offer more playstyles as mages, new tactical component both for PvP and PvE. So it's an important school that is finally getting into the game, and more players can enjoy that part of the game. And like I said, a lot of content comes along with that. More points of interest, dungeons that we have invested a lot of time into making them very exciting and completely new type of gaming experience compared to the current dungeons. Adding new bosses and new items, rares, collectibles, all kind of stuff that comes along with this. And tons of bug fixes and polish. So there's no doubt that this is an important big patch that is, good for everyone that is interested in Mortal Line. So you're just here to talk. I'm here to talk. I'm here to answer any question, and I will do my best to respond to those. I'm gonna do a giveaway. Give out a copy of Mortal Line in a moment. I planned to do a playing session, but I couldn't today. So yeah, it's gonna be one of those boring streams, I guess, if you think that is boring to hang out with me and the gang in here. Total domination. Yeah, so obviously one thing that affected PvP is where also when obviously the TC is coming and sieging mechanics and specific hotspots and also unlawful zones, huge areas of the game world, which simply makes you anonymous. There's no reporting murders or anything like that. So that's one component too that obviously affects PvP heavily. Just say for devs. Yeah, we are close to 40 devs in total.
Oh my god, another one.
Another one.
Spray on jeans. Thank you for subscription. So as you can imagine, going from like 8 people at one time, growing, everything changes in the working structure and how we need to communicate, especially when everyone is spread out in the whole world. We're not all in office anymore as we was when we started. A lot of things changes, how we need to adapt and make an effective system in place to be on control and keep on having stability. King I potato. King up potato. Thank you for a subscription. When we be added the possibility to ride more animals. I don't have the exact date, but you will see these areas, how they will go into the game in a certain order when we update the roadmap. So you will see which one is next and then next and so forth, so on. Do you have any useful information there or not? Depends on what information you think is useful or not. As I said, I'm doing a Q&A, giving out a game copy, and chilling with you guys, the community, the players, and trying to enjoy my evening in here. Mage have nothing right now. They will get a lot more with Necromancy. They are key important always, starting even with ecumenical school. But yeah, they will have a lot more options for sure with each and every school coming into the game. And Necro has one of those rules that allows you to run at the same time as you're casting spells, which a lot of especially new players have been asking for. They wanted us to change the rules of the ecumenical school because they don't know the whole picture of all the different schools, rules, and balance. So it makes sense why they have been asking for that feature, and finally they're getting it with Necromancy. So planning on updating Kids in VR? No, we don't really plan to update Kids in VR. We are quite busy with the technology we're developing in now, and obviously Modeline 2. No specific news regards of Unreal 5 other than that it looks very promising for us to be able to utilize all of its next-gen technology, which was a little bit uncertain earlier. But now it looks like we can squeeze the juice out of it in all areas quite a lot. So we're quite exciting to show you our first step moving over to Unreal 5 and show you the differences. Just, prepare to be blown away with that eye candy that is offered. So yeah, we look to be the first MMORPG using Unreal 5 in a large scale network solution. So it's going to be very exciting. How do you plan to re-release the game? Is it when Epic Games Store opens up? You mentioned influencers and doing PR. How? Yes, Chubfish. So as you know, when we run into severe problems when we released on Steam first, we paused everything in terms of marketing, influencers, streamers, and all of that, because we wanted to get under control with the servers, fix those issues, and it's taking quite some time. But we strongly believe that if we do this correctly now and show everyone that we have fixed those issues, we're moving forward, and we're adding solid content from here on, just as many other games in the same category are doing. Many have launched in a rough state or with pretty much nothing, and then just keep at it, being persistent and delivering, and hopefully the game speaks for itself. That is our long-term goal. So yes, this time we have right now we identified the main issues, complaints, and new player experience where things isn't as good as it could be. We're focusing heavily on that and take the opportunity to reach those milestones and then release the game on Epic Games platform, and then start the marketing campaigns again, which includes all those streamers, YouTubers, influencers, and the different marketing areas. So we're expecting obviously to start growing from there on, moving forward, and show the game to the world that we're here to stay and we offer something unique, and hopefully a lot of people gonna enjoy it, which we saw during the beta, especially the stress test. There were a lot of players, over 100,000 players, that were very excited to see a game like Modeline. Never heard about it, tried it out, and was very pleasant surprised with the refreshness of experience that Mortal offers compared to most other MMOs. But also it was interesting to see that we reached out to gamers coming from Rust, Tarkov, Valheim, some of those games that are obviously extremely popular. And we tapped into a huge audience where they instantly recognize a lot in Mortal Line. It's just more, bigger, and over time gonna hopefully be just as smooth as those games. And that means we have no limitations. The sky is the limit, and we're here to stay for many, many years. And the goal is to make Mortal Line 2 the best sandbox MMORPG on the market. That is our goal, and we will make it happen. The question is when. Yeah, the help chat is a little bit out of control. We have proper plans in place to take control and make sure that stops. The help chat is very important to obviously help new players. It's very very effective for new players when they're lost on something. They can just ask anyone. But obviously it's not meant to be there to slander each others or do trades or stuff like that in the help chat. So that's going to change. And obviously we're going to make sure that we have the rules in place and enforce them very strict. It needs to be used for the right purpose why we added it. Yeah, we're looking to change the equipment slots so it's more fluid and effective for you to swap between sets. So you can expect to see that also in one of our upcoming patches. So the most stress test being some interest when the stress was free to play, and it always refers stress test as if a genuine customer, not free to play. No, I'm referring to people reaching out in a whole new level and taking a look at what are the players thinking about the game. We didn't expect that big of an interest for our game initially and that quick. It was quite overwhelming and very positively so. Should you guys be banning people when your game is hitting below 400 a day? I can start with the 4 people banning this. Of course, we're banning anyone that doesn't obey the rules or cheating or doing anything like that. It doesn't matter anything when it comes to cheating or not following the rules. Those will always be enforced no matter what. Again, we're not here for a short run. If we're bleeding fundings right now, that is not a problem for us. We are here for the long run. I'm talking about minimum 10 years because we strongly believe Mortal 2 is a superior game to Mortal 1 and have a much wider audience. So obviously we're here to do the hard work now to make sure things are solid, and then players will experience that, and if they like it, they obviously we're gonna continue playing, right? And we're gonna protect the game 100% against unfair gameplay, cheaters, etc. Because that is one of our biggest enemy to our livelihood. We take it very seriously. Or as far I'm in chess right now, Henrik. We will do that in game soon enough, in a near tavern. A lot of my biggest streamers that join a Valley Pizza chat won't return to Mortal 1. You will see, Urton. You don't know, because what they are looking forward to is coming, and there's nothing like it. So they will be back. Everyone will, trust me. But yeah, it's quite common, just as it was in the first game. People take breaks from games like this for many different reasons. One of those reasons shouldn't be bugs or people breaking the rules. That is something that we're gonna prevent and fix and solve to make sure that's not the case when we re-release the game. However, there will always be player conflicts, players that simply do everything they can to destroy for each other's, siege each other's, etc. And as long as they do that within the rules, that's fine. And obviously, if you lose a lot of lands, cities, whatever it may be, it's quite common to take breaks. You know, you made a loss and you may come back stronger at a later time, or simply take a break until there's something else that you want to play around with, new hotspots, new features. This is a unique game where the game continues to evolve always. There are over time 100 types of games in Mortal Online, like fishing is one game, you know, magic is one game type, ships, sailing the seas, playing as a pirate and explorer is one type of game, like Sea of Thieves. We're tapping into so many categories of type of games that over time, this will be a masterpiece, and there will be something for everyone, no doubt. But it's a harsh world, for sure. So it may not be, you know, a game for absolutely everyone. That is without a doubt. John said multiple times in the past it will come back depending on how the game evolves. Yeah, that's what he told me as well. Him and many others are taking a break from the game for good reasons, understandable reasons. And some of those reasons we have on our list. We need to fix them. We know what we need to do to improve in those areas, because it's not only those players, obviously, that we want to bring back. We want to bring back anyone that left for a reason that is not acceptable within the game, where we have failed. And that is obviously an important milestone for us, to make sure that those shouldn't be the wrong reason to quit the game for. And obviously for us to reach into a wider audience and more players. What issues are being fixed? So as I mentioned before, some of those issues we have Beastmaster pets balance to control your pets with player skills. We have quite a list of bugs, invisible weapons, the different heights, playing around in keeps and houses where you're running in ground or in air. Obviously bad bugs, not meshing with pets, stuck around houses, inside houses. There's quite a few of those and yeah, invisible items for house chests, quite terrible. We need to retrieve those obviously and make sure they don't go invisible anymore. So those are some important ones. And then obviously some of the big things that we all can experience: interesting, exciting game content spread out on Milan. So it's exciting to keep exploring it. Have plenty of hotspots that attracts player groups, guilds, that obviously also in return usually ends up in player conflicts for those that are interested in PvP. Tapping into the TC functions and areas is also a long-term content-wise areas that are, a lot of players are interested in. I'm sure I missed some important one, but just to mention a few. Yeah, we're looking to expand some of the storages as well. We want to, be careful not to overdo it at first, especially now when we're working on the server capacity. We want to keep that under control to reach a certain milestone, and then we can refine and balance stuff like storage, the loading data for characters on a certain distances, etc. And obviously there are some importance on some of them and less importance on some of them, so we want to prioritize those that have greatest impact on gameplay and PvP especially. Plan to add more character creation options like look, all that 60 with long white here. There we are working on batches of additional facial hair, tattoos, hairstyles that you will be able to obtain and learn in the game and use as a player profession and trade with players, both rare, unique ones and common ones. So we don't really plan to expand the initial character creation more, but you will have a lot more options over time in the game when you encounter that knowledge or players that have the skills for it to trade it. We are working on pet pathing. That is one of the points that I mentioned on the importance list when it comes to polishing of the game. If I'm wearing pants, I am wearing shorts. It's quite hot here. I have 25 degrees in the room currently. Summertime in Sweden, so warmer than usual. Yes, we are obviously banning players that have been part of dupes and the gold for that. And this is, quite a project that I have a few people on that they're going through. So, again, just a reminder, we do things in different sessions. So, if a certain time has passed and there's a player that have broken the rules, they will get the treatment sooner or later. It may not happen the first day, depending on what it is, but we are expanding on the tools to again always be able to track and follow up on everything to make sure we protect the game, because as we said before, we do not plan to wipe this game ever since we went persistent, but obviously it's super important for us to be able to have eyes on everything and be able to clean up and undo and fix anything that may happen in the game post persistent to make sure that we have things under control. And this is a program that have been running now, and you will see more and more action and results of this in the upcoming weeks until we are fully done and happy with that state, because that is very important for us. That is fair game and balance, and also obviously to make sure we protect the economy, that you will see that we are gonna protect at 100%. TR, thank you for a subscription with the Prime. Tell us about for a long time ago. Can you tell us more about the VR roadmap in the future? I don't know exactly where VR are supported or where this goes in a patch. So as I mentioned, we're going to start with some of the upcoming batches on the roadmap. And that gives you the order of things when you can expect them to go into the game. And VR will eventually be in one of these. And we're going to utilize the VR support in Unreal 5. But there's a few areas that we still need to do some work before it works. So depending on the prioritized order here, as you can know, one of our highest prioritized order right now is polish, bug fixing, and stability. And then we have content work. So VR is not in the first prioritized order here, as you can imagine. Waiting on a new landmass from North America before jumping back in. Why are you waiting on landmass from NA, if I may ask, Spoof? If you lost an entire house or items in the house, it's important that you make a support ticket, and we will keep track of that and solve it and work with it. One of the things that I mentioned on our prioritized focus polishing list is house items goes invisible. They are not lost or deleted, but they go invisible for players at some certain times when some of the nodes have gone foobar. And we are now also building tools to give to the staff members that can utilize or access those things much more effectively, rather than having to go through developers at all time. That's not very effective. And then obviously we need to solve the core issues so it doesn't keep up occurring. And that's number one on our list. We don't have a date yet for TC. We don't have a date for anything other than a certain order of things. And you will see that roadmap on our website sometime after Necro have been published. If I'm wearing pants or not, I'm wearing shorts. That's how I respond, Dumpling25. It's too hot for pants right now. I don't dare to guess with TC. So it's going to come with 2 steps first. And then there's, like I said before, an infinite amount of TC that may come over years in different patches, and also based on feedback and what you may request or want and fit. And if we see that it does work and fit with our design, that may also go into game over time. So the core TC and core system for the siege mechanics is the first step. And that's going to be a good chunk of TC content for both defending, sieging, and constructing your city with certain services and functions. And then, like I said, we don't even have there's an infinite amount of possible requests and options over time as well. But yeah, like I said, we focus on that first batch, which is the one that we're trying to get early on in the game now, as soon as we have control and stability of the game. So players don't get a bad experience or stop playing due to a bad bug or something like that. That's number one, and then we have that content. I don't think I'm wearing pants. Shorts. Wearing shorts. We're going to remove Dungeon Priest. Next patch. Necro. It's around the corner. The ping normalization position of the sync be addressed as well. So there's a few areas that we plan to revisit, improve, and polish in that category. But overall, it's working very well today. There's no critical part where we are panicking, have to rebuild or tweak something. We're happy with where we are currently, which allows us for a very wide ping spectrum of players to compete and play the game without severe issues. Like I said, there's a few areas that we plan and have. We know there's a few things we can improve a little bit more. for specific areas when it comes to ping and the normalization system. Can you get any more hints about how Necromancy is going to work? Or can you just at least show us a different screen than the three people stood around? King of Potato with the bits. Only been playing for a couple of days, loving it so far. I hope this... one moment where I... loving it so far. I hope this game lasts and improves. Good job, Henrik. This is the game I dream of. Thank you very much. And like I said, you're not alone with that experience. And obviously, we need to make sure that everyone, or as many as possible, get that experience and have a smooth experience. And also we identified, like I mentioned before, I think there's a gap when you're from Haven to Mirland. There's a big challenge for a lot of new players on what to do next if they're not part of a group or guild or know what to do or haven't set up a goal yet, because this is a sandbox MMO where there's no question marks NPCs spread out that you run through in a linear story. You make the story or you pick the areas you want to participate in. But that is not very easy for a lot of new players. So we have a plan how we can solve that gap and help new players getting a very much improved chance to get into the game and hopefully get excited. But yeah, regarding Necromancy, so it is an illegal school. Cities, open cities and guards doesn't really allow Necromancy. Brando, no, Noznam with the gifts. Thank you very much. So you do need to obviously start scouting Milan a little bit to start getting information. And there's a very cool system now that we're also getting this patch that we wanted to get in the first game, but never really got to. And that is tools to give information to the players in a very cool way. So it's gonna be rewarding to explore the world. You will be able to find clues, books, notes, text, information that ties deeply to the core lore of the game that Mats wrote many years ago. That is amazing. It's like a book universe that he created for Mortal Online that is really awesome. We're tapping slowly into some of those areas, and then obviously we are also tying to local and different areas, past history, but also more current history. And a lot of this also obviously ties to the content and features that we're adding, such as Necromancy. So you will be able to find clues and information regardless of that by just, again, exploring the world at any place. It could be in cities and out in the world, dungeons and anywhere pretty much. But there is a specific location on Midland that is once used to study necromancy in great depth and a lot of secrecy regardless of that. So obviously finding this location is a big part of it's not a very secret, difficult location to find, but when you have found it, that's where one of the adventures starts to learn more about necromancy and master it, if you may. But it's not bound to be the only location to find necromancy content. There will be more areas in Mirland, but there's a specific area that is quite strong when it comes to necromancy content. So if you wanna go for necromancy, fully master it, this is a good place to start your adventure at.
Oh my my god, another one.
We're only doing polish bug fixing. What about the rest of the world? So along with polishing and bug fixing, the world gets polish and solid content as well. So along with that is, for example, points of interests. Very cool dungeons, locations. That is part of the polish where, you know, there's a degree when it comes to certain art bugs as well. Reported holes in the ground or something floating. Obviously that is part of polish when it comes on the art side, but also expanding on Milan to give more content and making it feel it's a real world where, you know, people have lived and for many years and many stories have happened. That is also part of the expanding and polishing more of that experience. So it depends on if we're looking at the code side or art and what kind of art. And, you know, even though it's not very exciting to see mostly fixes and polishing quality of life in some of the upcoming patches now for a period of time, we get that, you know, we would like to see TC instantly. We would like to see the new melee skills, more mounts, more content and features, obviously. But since we've identified this list, players are getting annoyed and pushed away from the game when this happens too much. For the long run, it's important we fix those and have that under control before we start adding and focusing more heavily on just adding content and features. So yeah, it may be a period where it's not super exciting patches, but it's gonna make sure that your gaming session is smooth and not pushing you away with frustration. And then hopefully and finally we will get much more heavily into those juicy features that I can't wait to play myself also. Hey, it's 140 ping. No, I mean, again, that is a never-ending debate, and I fully understand why that is, because, you know, we're all gamers in here and we compare the games we play, right? But that's also where it becomes complicated. It's not really valid to compare Mortal Online with most other games, especially when it comes to how you calculate ping. And that's where it gets quickly complicated and confusing when we compare them, because we're fooling ourselves if we think we can compare Mortal Online with 140 ping with playing Counter-Strike with 140 ping. If I'm playing Counter-Strike with 140 ping, then I fully agree, barely unplayable, and I wouldn't play at a competitive level with that high ping. But that's not the same case in a game like Mortal Online, because it's a whole different network protocol and a whole new type of system, how network communicates between clients and servers and back and forth. And that is also the reason why we have a prediction system and ping normalization in place. And what that means, ping normalization, is that even though you have 5 or 100 in ping, it doesn't matter, because the ping normalization is going to force them all to, for instance, 150. So none of those will benefit from 5 to 100, for instance. So that is why this is a never-ending, debate, because this is not normal and typical in most games. It doesn't work the same way, and we all gamers have learned that you want a low ping, right? You want it down there around 10-20 to be happy. And that's what's misleading you when you're looking at Mortal Online, comparing those numbers. It's a completely different thing. There is a obviously range when it starts to get very high, when that ping normalization gets weaker and weaker. And in some specific areas of the game where ping is handled differently when you're fighting, etc., there are areas where you can start noticing the difference between the players, but you can't. It doesn't go over everything. So that is a whole topic on its own. So it depends on what you are comparing. In some cases, there's no difference at all, and then in some cases, there starts to become a difference the higher ping you get. Comparing with Mortal 1, for instance, we have a normalized ping at a minimum at 500 ms, and then you added your distance on top of that. As you can imagine, that's quite crazy. You were playing with always higher than 550 ms. Imagine then having someone with low ping playing with someone from Australia or something that is furthest away from the server. We're talking about 800 ping versus 550. The PvP was very specific, and everyone had to learn and adapt to playing around the prediction and abuse that as much as possible. And all the Australians had to just ignore melee because it didn't work. They had to rely more on magic, for instance. And then we had the new players showing up, and they asked, what the hell is going on here? And they quit playing instantly. We fixed this in Mortal 2 in a very magical, genius way. So now we're only counting for the distance and the ping normalization, which means everyone is extremely close to each other's. And for the first time ever, North American and Australian players can actually PvP with melee without being totally lost. They very quickly learn and adapt where that difference is and count for that and become very successful in the game. We have many good PvPers from Australia, which is quite crazy because they do have a higher latency. And then we have the best PvPers. Some of the best PvPers in the game is from North America with over 100 ping. So I hope that this brought some information that can be passed along, not to confuse the ping with Counter-Strike ping, because that's completely wrong. It's like comparing an apple with a car. Pairing is one of those, exactly, that is heavier affected by the differences in ping normalization. Position and striking is not as much. So yes, and pairing is one of those areas that we think that we may have an room for improvement to make that a little bit more tight for even higher latencies. Revert to MO style. Oh my god, Heimdall. I just explained that you're playing with 800 ms and you want to revert back to that mind game of abusing prediction, and you and 100 more players love that, and no one else in the world would ever touch it with gloves because they wonder what the hell, how can you fight with 20 meters distance hits and just abusing prediction. It was cool 15 years ago, it worked then, and it was unique and fresh and cool. But today, it's not accepted. We have a much higher demand on, I mean, you already saw, especially in the stress test, that why am I hitting slow, or, there's his hits just in front of me in air, comparing it with a single player game when it connects physically on all sides. And now some people are confused when it actually hits from a meters of distance or something. That is the whole thing that we can't forget and ignore, that it's a MMORPG with thousands of players with extreme details of the combat system. And, the tech doesn't really support single player accuracy at this point. It's just simply a big limitation in network today, but it's getting improved over time. So yeah, when you had 180 ms in Model 1, you actually had 680 at the minimum. In Model 2, you keep your 180 as they are. And not to mention everyone warping, teleporting all over the place when moving. There wasn't a smooth movement network either. So, And all of that now in place, having that much more smooth, that also one of the big thing that new players loved playing Mortal 9 and was very excited to see, wow, you never heard about it, and they were enjoying their time. And that wouldn't be possible if we had the same network system as we had in the first game, because they wouldn't accept it. It's more line, I really like it. The only thing that bothers me are the FPS drops like in Tindrem. Yeah, Safi Gaming, welcome to Mortal 9. And indeed, there are several areas in the world that is dropping FPS, that is unoptimized. And one of the big thing is level streamings in Unreal 4 that will be heavily improved in Unreal 5. So that is one of the big thing that we are very much looking forward to finally using in Unreal 5. A much more effective level streaming system that hopefully will remove these chunks of freeze and bad performance. Fisher Sat, you are a little clown. You know nothing. It's clear that you know nothing. But it's okay. What's the release time to Unreal 5? 2 years? No, shit, no. It's much, much earlier than that. We'll present our roadmap quite soon, and you will see Unreal 5 on that roadmap. We will be the first MMORPG on the market using Unreal 5, so as you can imagine, we're quite close compared to other MMOs in development that plan to be using Unreal 5 as well. Still supposed to be much earlier than end of year. Yeah, as I said, again, we don't have the exact date. We need to make sure that obviously everything works, so we don't downgrade in certain areas. But the plans are to get it in as early as we can, because it does help us with some of the areas of the game that we suffer a little bit right now, that Unreal 4 isn't good enough. So you will see the roadmap, and you can kind of get a rough idea of in what order we're expecting it to get into the game. And obviously we're gonna do a lot of videos, streams, when we are playing around in Unreal 5. And we're gonna share that with you guys. We're quite mixed between North America and Europe and Russia. So quite mixed. It have moved a little bit back and forth. But again, London is quite a good location for that distribution. Fisher, I didn't see a question. As I said before, I apologize when I miss question. I'm behind quite a bit and try to catch up. Don't cry when I miss the questions, please. Subs will start when we reach our milestone and are ready to re-release the game on the additional platforms and bring up marketing again. So when we get closer, we will have, when that will happen. Will be a wipe with Unreal 5? No wipe. The only thing that will be wiped is on fair gameplay and people breaking rules. That will be wiped from the game. Fishing titles is on the list, so fishing along with a few other professionals that are missing titles will be in one of our upcoming patches. Just that we really want to deliver, Necro as soon as we can now without delaying further by adding more things. So we need to cut it, we can't keep adding to it. Do you feel that mob speeds are too fast? Do you mean a run speed or what? It depends quite a bit on what mob. They all have different speeds. Can talk about point of interest. I was actually debating with my art team today if we were gonna do a session going through showing point of interest, because it's very cool. It's very exciting. It actually adds a lot of game depth that we never had in Mortal Online. A common request from especially new players, also especially those that aren't really used to playing a open sandbox where you have to actively find out what you want to play around with. They may want to have a lot of content served or find it more easily. And we saw this quite clear that we can for sure expand on this area and help with that, because after all, it is a RPG game, right? And those RPG elements is a strong factor for a lot of players. And again, we all want more players in the game, right? In the long run, we want a growing, healthy player population. And for that to happen, we need to cater to not just one playstyle, obviously. And that's also what a sandbox is all about. So the more we're expanding now in points of interest is very exciting. And I'm getting more and more excited to see how you experience that as well. So we showed a little bit of some of the point of interest in some of my other streams. Some cool stuff happened in the world, and adding to that mood and feeling in the game world. But now we're also adding more content surrounding those points of interest with nodes, clues, things that they are communicating between each other's, the creatures or humanoids that are there, and you can start tapping into that kind of communication and pick things up and figure things out. And that's pretty cool, and in a lot of different ways as well. And some of them may also become hotspots for groups of players. Obviously hotspots always brings a lot of conflicts, PvP, whatever, but there's also going to be a lot of easy points of interest. So there's going to be a ton of cool things for solo players to explore and play around with, to obviously groups also. And yeah, it's really cool to see that being expanded and what the team are doing, and they've been doing an awesome job. It looks like almost like a single player game in the details of level of what they've created so far, and the thoughts behind everything. And if you're using your brain and watching at the location, what happened here, and follow the clues and trails, you may end up with some cool rewards or information, or anything goes. And that's really cool to see getting into game, because that's something we always wanted in the first game, but we never reached that point. And to be able to support it in a good way and having enough data to support it also in the old engine, and that's heavily being expanded on now as well. So that's really cool to see. But yeah, I wasn't really I didn't have a client ready to walk around and show some of these examples, because yeah, it looks really, really awesome. We have some really talented artists working on this, and it's really cool to see it's growing. And that should obviously make the game world very much exciting for everyone just exploring and finding things, if you're into that. Total domination. Why not wipe at Epic Games launch release? Because there would be no reason to wipe. The only thing we would do with a wipe is punishing the players, and we'll push away quite a bit of players, and for no real apparent reason. The only thing we're gonna wipe and punish is those players that haven't behaved or followed the rules, including their content, items, gold, etc. That will be wiped. And that's something we're working on a weekly basis. Ring trinkets will be added, yes. The plan on slowing down mobs at all, they are way faster than MO1. They're quite within similar range. All speed have changed, including players' speeds. But we don't really plan to change all the speed. There may be tweaks, balances in certain creatures and areas, but nothing major. Can please bring birds, companions, pets, hawk, eagles, crows, etc. Eventually we're gonna implement the flying creatures, yes, which means you will also be able to have them as pets. Minus on a pet, I'm not sure. I mean that means you are shrinking. It goes from older to younger, right? So maybe the more suitable way there is actually alchemy or food. Specific ingredients that you have to feed your pet to make it become younger, just so it follows the same logic as the players. If you want to shrink or change your age, you need to find those magical recipes that does that for you. I think that fits better for the pets rather than just let it auto D-level. Game is set up to use resources. Gear doesn't last forever. Yeah, that's true. There's a heavy consummation of gear. Quite heavy, because we all know what kind of danger lurks around every corner. It may be water, fall damage, creatures, animals, or players. Everything may kill you sooner or later, and you will lose items and gear, no doubt. There will be a constant demand. And there will be new types of resources, items, and gears and constructions over time as well, where you can use those resources additionally on things over time. The game will get TC and Sieging Blazon. Like we said, we did plan to release in a smaller scale and then be able to grow with control over time. Now we got chaos and a bit too many that we expected, and now we're back on control, and we will now take those steps and improve and grow over time. So we don't see the release as the determining factor of how the future looks for the game. The determining factor for how Mortal 9 gonna evolve is our stability and persistence in delivering stable, solid, fun content. And that should speak for itself, and if players enjoy it, then obviously they will play it. It's that simple, right? That will determine how much we will grow in the future of Mortal 9. The tendency to make spawn to chase forever and not leech. Yeah, that is a little problematic. I'm not sure if we had a solution for that right now or not, where their leash is a little too crazy indeed. I can't say for sure. I need an update from the guys. Should we do the giveaway, guys? I think it's time, right? I mean, there are many of those games that have seasonal wipes and restart everything and such. But that's something that Mortal Online isn't. Is players have been joining this game now and investing a lot of time and are progressing in a persistent world and are relying on that function to be, you know, a core rule, as we stated before. And that's important for player group to know that that is something they can rely on. And again, we can't forget about the group of players that are not verbal. They're not in here in the Twitch, they're not on the forums or on Discord, but they're actually more players than the players are present in those channels, believe it or not. That's how it is. And that is a big voice, and you know, a good amount of players that are active and enjoying their time in the game and don't bother by communicating or writing or Discord fighting as many of us are in here, guys. And those are also a solid player group that are supporting the game and are ready for subscription, and you know, they found their home. And they're reading our statement and what we want to offer and what we plan to offer, and we can't just change that core plan and push our player base away by saying one thing and then doing the opposite. One moment, guys. I'm gonna start the giveaway. I haven't started yet. I have 100k players invisible playing the game. That is correct, Beast. You are spot on. You know exactly what you're talking about. Thank you for your amazing brain cells to alert us with that amazing information. We have a few kids in here, right? We're not all adults. And that's actually a requirement to play Mortal Online. You know, it's a mature game. I wonder if you're allowed to play the game. Let's run the giveaway. Explanation mark MO2. It's open, guys. So hit it. Hit it. I'm a grown-ass man. I'm sure. I'm sure. Yet you remove my mess of a cuss word. I don't remove anything. I don't moderate anywhere. I want that to be said. Is it Necro and fixes on the next patch? Yeah, the main thing is bug fixes and Necromancy school New locations and a new world bus, or not really a world bus, but a big bus, I would say. And several contents as well to find in the world. Stan, I'm not insulting anyone. I'm just responding back to someone insulting me, and I'm fine with that. I'm sure you have seen me try to respond to everyone, but you know, I'm just doing my best, and I'm used to people not agreeing to things and are a little bit rude. That's fine. I wouldn't be here if I wasn't prepared for anything of that, right? I don't insult anyone, and I wouldn't. Other than, like I said, responding back in a similar manner, just for, you know, in a light way. I don't think anyone gets insulted by me either here. I'm not that rude or cruel. And our numbers have been public in our official statements. And you can see a rough estimates on the different websites on Steam as well, even though they're missing a few hundred players, but a rough estimation, you can see trends, etc. So I don't think that is a big secret to anyone, and we don't make it a secret or try to hide anything either. Roasting. The patch coming in August? No, it's coming earlier than August for sure. We're getting very close. We are trying to wrap things up, but like I said, we don't want to release if we still have bugs that we know about. We want to make sure we have removed them all, and then we will release as soon as that's possible. Henrik, don't play. Shall I not play? Necrodon polish. Yeah. It's about done. It's all about polishing. Your breath fresh air, my lord. Dumpling. Do you dare to release a new roadmap? Yes, I dare to release a new roadmap. Like I said before, we're not gonna put them in time brackets. We're just gonna put them in an order where the general content and focus of the patches is in that order, without dates. I think it's a good thing to communicate and let the community see what we're working on now and why. And also, if there's something specific you're waiting for, you may find that in that line of batches, which obviously allows you to get a pretty decent idea of when you can expect that to finally get into game. Because we're all different, right? And we're all looking for different things in this game. There are hundreds of features and contents over the years, and they will all cater to very different types of players over time. Believe in a dream, man. Keep it up. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Voodoo Samurai. We want a wipe. No, we don't want a wipe. My feelings are hers. I will never recover. Never wipe. Don't worry, guys. We have 100k players. The server can hold them. They just don't go on Discord on the forums. And my name is CVC Beasts. My name is CVC Beasts. I know what I'm talking about. Thank you. Thank you for that. Sorry, I'm roasting. I'm on a roasting journey right now, guys. Don't feel too offended when I'm putting on my roast jacket. Imagine if you could hear yourself sometime in the same degree at your job. Roast me next, mortal. Banger banger, you need to give me some content. I think it's a buzz, probably CTX member. No CTX member. I was hoping to see content on his stream, not stand up. Good one, Radical. Good one. I thought the same. I'm Discord PvPing. You know, I'm learning from the best. How am I doing so far, guys? Total Henrik Nation. Twitch PvPing. You practice what you preach. And plan to add chess as board games? Yes, we plan to add chess as board games. So right now we have blackjack, and we're adding poker and chess sometime after that. I'm wearing shorts. Don't worry, every man hero. Can censor the word wipe already. Good suggestion. Are you Janik? Who the hell is Janik? Why can my turtle not come with me in the water? That is a very good question. We need to tap into the water AI and then air AI for sure. The limit is 100k. We are saved. And my name is CVC Beasts. Indeed, my son. Indeed. It's not likely you see any other game CEOs on Twitch weekly. Indeed, I'm digging into my gamer roots, and I'm here with all of you. And you know, sometimes I'm acting as a gamer a little bit, because that's what I am. Henrik, I love the game, got a second account so I could try another build. I don't mind that. What I don't like is that I have to switch Steam account to access it. Has there been any talk about allowing us to combine accounts so we can have more than one account per Steam server? Yeah, that's a quite common question. So there's a few reasons also why we are heavily tapping into the Steam functions. One obvious reason is security. We learn a lot from running everything manually on the first game for several years, and we had to go through a rough battle in many different areas. This time around we want to eliminate as many weak points as possible on our end and just being able to focus more on the game development. You will get an additional option obviously with the Epic Game platform launch, if that may be an option and if that may help. Other than that, we have to look into specifically the requirements to offer something like that. And like I said, right now that can't be our prioritized order as you know, depending on our current status. So but yeah, it's a quite common question, and we understand why that would be more convenient to have a better control over that. So, but for now, that's sadly our only option. But at least with Epic Game Launch, there would be an additional option there, and then we will see after that. Don't get too carried away and potentially get cancelled or something. That would be unfortunate for the future of Star Wars. Yeah, no. I mean, I obviously try to be professional at all times, even though I'm joking and having fun with you guys, and you're joking with me. You know, right? Like I said, I don't want to just be that formal CEO and not be completely in the dark and not care or communicate or talk with gamers, because I'm quite passionate about it. I'm very passionate, obviously, about the game, the future, and one of the big core pillars for the game to be exciting and grow is obviously the player base. So that's why we've always done things a little bit different compared to most other game companies, I guess, and have enjoyed so far having a quite open communication with the player base. And it's also, you know, a first-hand possibility to get information and experience that can be quite useful as well. So, but I'm sure you guys can take some of my jokes that are quite light. Do the giveaway already. I'm patient, are we? On forgiving 2K3. Yes, there will be additional style options for houses down the road. I have pants. Or no pants, but shorts. My name is Henrik. I'm so cool. And I'm also called E-Tech. How's my mimic skills? I'm practicing on them. We're getting a giveaway, yeah. Explanation mark MO2 to participate. Gonna run it in a momento. A gamer with the Y. And can you share when you're thinking about porting over to Unreal 5? We talked about it a little bit earlier, Twisted Tap, and you will see it on the upcoming roadmap that we will update sometime soon after Necromancy is the plan. And that will give you a rough idea of when you can expect it. And when we start taking, you know, deeper step into the engine and really commit fully, that's also when we're gonna do videos, streams, sharing how Mortal Online looks and feels and play in Unreal 5. So just wait a little bit and you will start getting some juicy sneak peeks into MO2 in Unreal 5. Sup people, hope you're having a great stream. ATC Forgiven, what up, what up? Hank is my king. If you dare to insult him, come and say that to me in the blood more, you safers. If the game got 700 poop, the CEO will be live on Twitch. And my name is CVC Beasts. Does everyone get a giveaway or is it random? It's random. So one guy out of everyone that sign up will get the key. So you need to be quite lucky. But we do run them almost every Thursday. So far we've been doing them pretty much every Thursday. So over time your chances increases. Please roll.
Oh my god, another one. Another one.
Hunted Thompson with the Prime. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. When will you add more foot fighter content? I can't say when. We will see how it looks on the roadmap, if there will be something there, which will give you, again, a rough estimate. Bro game. Almighty Gigachat, grace me with your free discounted title, Your Holiness. Oh, thank you. Henrik, you're in the business of gaming. It's professional to be a gamer. No worries. Mad respect. We are all the content we deserve. You have done enough. Thank you very much, eTech. I'm doing my best. We all are here over at Starvolt. And thank you for your presence, guys. As I said, we appreciate it. Even though we not always agree on everything, that's fine, but we can still be here and hopefully enjoy something that we can enjoy in different ways. We can handle it, my man. Good dumpling. Good to hear that. It's very refreshing and humanizing. And it clips of Fennec PvP as a gamer in MO2. You should see my old clips from, what is 99, shit, I don't remember the year, but when I was a Quake Professional Championship in Nordic Championship, that was the old days. I was quite young and hasty and trigger hungry back then. And then I, you know, I matured, calmed down a little bit, got wiser. You know how it is. We got a lot of young guys starting from Mortal 1, being part of the long journey that are grown as men, as you said, nowadays, with family and all. That's crazy. Time flies. 15, 16 years have passed. That's quite crazy since we started the adventure of Mortal Online. Pants story is not holding up anymore. Oh, man. I've been shadow banned everywhere. I'm basically god now. On point. Good. I'm a little behind, I see, but that's good. 10 out of 10. Can I buy MC and Mercenary Protect me in the game with TC? Best cyber? No, 1 gold bar is not the same as 1 gold coin. Shitta. Give it a few more minutes and then we're gonna pull the giveaway. So if you just tune in, exclamation mark MO2 to participate in the giveaway. When badge, boys, need to know the date. We don't have the date yet, but we're getting very close. Very close. Roadmap without dates again. It will be the first game studio with such a roadmap. Indeed. Stain, I remember you as being very polite and nice. Have it been harsh time in the harsh world of Knave lately? That's usually an indication. Or has it been nasty bugs? That we will fix. This is the most fun I've ever had on a computer in my life. Dumpling, what are you doing? Hunted Thompson with the Prime. I think I'm quite behind, right? Open up grass on the technical stuff is going well. Can't wait to see some new content in Mortal Kombat 2. I believe many people like me are waiting to come back with some nice updates. Primus Smoo That is very accurate. Very accurate. When the game will speak for itself and we deliver those highly awaited content feature updates and of course solve those nasty bugs, I have no doubt either that people will be enjoying the game and getting back. This is something that we have quite a history of in the first game as well, even though the core was quite far from what we have in Mortal 2. Footwork, subscribe. Thank you for the subscription. The best RP PvP game ever. I am so ready to become the Grandmaster Necromancy Ritualist that I'm meant to be. Awesome to you, Footwork, and I will take your word for it. When the Necro patch hits, I'm gonna follow your progression. Gonna follow it. I hope you stream. It would be even easier to follow. Is patch this month or next month? I'm betting my money on this month. The giveaway prize is Mortal 2 game copy. Is there enemies in the game at the moment like Rogue in WoW, etc.? And if so, if it's completely invisible, or can you see the person if you look close? No, there is no such magical invisible or skill in the game currently. There will be some option with camouflage and some magical ways to disguise you or make it harder for you to be visible or blend in the nature. But currently, no, you have to hide manually, just like in real life, and there's actually a lot of room for that. It's obviously depends on where in the world, but there's a lot of bushes, dense foliage and stuff like that you can hide in, and obviously around corners. You just don't have to peek out, and you can't cheat because we don't have third-person camera. And that's actually a very cool experience. It happened many times when, holy shit, did they see me or not? And you're sitting there hiding, and then you peek forward again and you see the whole group passing by, and you, whew, they would have killed me if they saw me, but I got away, you know. Real skills hiding is quite the experience when it do happens, and again, unique experience. You don't get that in many other MMOs, and that's what I love with Mortal 9. Gives you a really unique gaming experience in so many different ways. Can you get fire arrows to or rams to blow up houses? That is the sieging components that comes with the siege patch. And yes, you will have them. Sooner or later, you will have them. Henrik, you haven't done enough. I'm still waiting to get roasted by you. Make me Zizzle. Banger bangered. I don't have too much on you. That's the problem. I need some content, you know. I need that content. Dice and other RP elements will be on that roadmap as well. You haven't forgot about importance of RPG elements as well, because after all, it's in the genre RPG. Sharer out with the Prime. Thank you very much. I may have missed that one. And yeah. Did you ever try Action Quake 2? Action Quake 2? I don't think so, no. Are you hyper mega super giga chad? What kind of question is that? Of course I'm hyper. Of course I'm hyper. I played EGL Quake 3 Fortress when I was a lad. Then Star Wars Galaxy to relax. I hear you, I hear you. I've been there too. Shows the dungeon a bit. I revealed a bit too much of one dungeon or place in my previous stream. Quake days, oh man. Indeed. Good old Quake. If I drop by a Malmo, can I visit? I want to buy you folks a beer. Yeah, maybe. We will see how busy we are. My wife does not like how much I'm enjoying the game. Twisted tap. It's okay. It's okay. No one knows that Henrik can actually beat 99% of the people in this chat in a duel. Duran, you're quite spot on. It may have gone down to 98% though, because I've been quite in the shadow lately and quite busy with the development and expanding the team and all kind of stuff going on at the same time. So I need to get back in shape when it comes to those skills. I will never have a family. I play MMOs. Your family may be in MMO. How they can get a two-handed weapon slot and two one-handed weapon slot. Yes. Can you please give me a figurine of human colored male tanks? I don't have one right now. Internet Gaming League, my brother. When you had to try out to make the team and maybe play in a weekly match. No competitive queues, old school competitive, we earn it. Indeed. And do you remember when you sat in IRC signing up for those matches? Holy cow. I guess no seasons for Mortal 2. We got seasons in terms of winter, summer, and all that. That's coming with Unreal 5. If that's what he meant. No, I'm pulling the winner in just a minute. So again, if you just tune in, exclamation mark MO2, and then I'm hitting it. Thank you, Henrik, for what you and your team is doing. Keep it up. Thank you very much, Mercy Side. Mercy Side. Thank you. We're really doing our best. Trust me. We really take this project extremely serious, and we spend everything into this project. And even though we stopped working for the day, especially me at least. I've heard the same goes for some of the guys that have been in the company for a long time. It doesn't stop after your work hours, for good and bad. You know, it always is with us, even though we are free on weekends or nights or when you're sleeping. The brain is going through all those things we wanna complete and improve and fix, because we know that this is something many players want. It's a constant thought about you guys to make sure that we can deliver a game that you will enjoy, and it's never ending. For 16 years my brain have gone 24-hour a day, you know, every hour when I'm awake to when I'm sleeping, even sometimes dreaming of it, to how we can improve and deliver a unique game. It's a huge thing, and yeah, it's constantly there in the brain. And sometimes when I can't sleep or wake up, bam, my brain has solved a problem, and I have to write it down very quickly before I forget about it. And then when I wake up in the morning, I have no clue what that was because I forgot about it. And then I read this note and say, holy shit, I just solved that problem. I don't know how and when, but the text just appears. And that's pretty amazing. That happened a few times. I also know that Sebastian have told me he actually does the same thing. It's quite crazy, but pretty cool as well how the brain can do things. Footwork, thank you for the prime. Was that you ganking me for 3 days on Tuxar Bridge? No, Muka, still. As a solo player now, in real life, I hide in bushes and behind trees. Thanks, Henrik. Yeah, that's a good skill. You never know. Mod doesn't change people, it just attracts people who were already bad and leads them into a path. I mean, we do have a surprisingly nice and cool community as well, next to a few crazy people that, you know, like you said, you can't avoid those. But I'm also happy to see we have a very cool, down to earth, chill community. A lot of cool people that are enjoying their time in the game, and you know, every now and then I'm chilling with you guys, streaming the game as well. I'm sure you have seen me pop in quite frequently in different streams and just enjoying my time there as well. I'm very happy for that. Thursdays are for the boys. Bless you, my king. No updates on dice. No, you will see them on the roadmap though, so that will give you a rough estimates. Model 1 and M1, Model 2 and Model 1. One of the biggest issue I have is all the duping people have done. I've seen screenshots of stacks high. Yeah, 100%. And that is, trust me, we take that extremely serious, and we have frequent meeting as soon as we have updates or any of that progression information data. And trust me, we are banning a lot of accounts, and we're doing hard work in tracking those stacks to remove them from the game. And next week we're doing additional steps in expanding on these systems. So we're gonna do wipes, but we're not wiping the game. We're doing proper wipes, and you know what I mean with that then. So, you know, have faith and patience that you know, that we protect the game, because like I said, this is everything to us, and we spent all these years into this project, and this is a big attack on us personally and our you know, business. So trust me, we're spending a lot of time to make sure that this will be dealt with harshly and as swift as possible. And I'm way behind, I see. Stain was polite when there was any kind of trace of a progression in development of the game. The current situation is broken promises, missed deadlines for release, and disappointment exists. A constructive suggestion I can give to you, please, more often bug fixing instead of leaving your game and player in a pain month of health. Yeah, I understand. And like I said, I've commented and responded to all these valid points. We're not hiding or denying anything. We're just trying to do what we think is absolutely best for the game, and that works for the long run, and that will give everyone a good opportunity to see that progression. And again, let the game speak for itself, because just like you pointed out, I don't want to give empty words or false hopes or anything like that that just annoys some people. I understand that. So that's nothing I'm trying to do. I'm always just trying to respond on the question and explain the best I can when these topics gets asked. So that is why I'm saying, let us show what we are delivering upcoming with the new system in place, and let that speak for itself. And of course, if that deserves you know, good rates, valid feedback that, you know, players are enjoying the game, seeing that progression, seeing that we're fixing those issues, that's what we want to do. That's our goal now. Shad doesn't hide. So Stain, I will hold that on you. You know, when we deliver upcoming patches, let's see if we deliver what we set up to as a goal to deliver. That's the only thing I can say, I guess. And if we fail, then yeah, we have failed. But I have high confidence in the team and the new structure that will show over time. Crushing will be cool. Yeah, that's something we discussed and are looking to add sometime down the road. I was the best Necromancer waitlist in Model 1, Henrik. Members me. Henrik members me. Footwork. We will see who takes that claim in Mortal Line 2, right? Stein got divorced. Leave him alone. Oh my god, I'm sorry to hear that, Stein. It will be alright. Time heals everything, right? And enough time, we will show you that Mortal Line 2 is a hell of a game to be accounted for. And the best MMORPG game sandbox in the world. That's when I'm satisfied.
Oh my god, another one. Another one.
Staying with the subscription. Thank you very much. Let's see indeed. Yes, that's all I'm hoping for. Let the work speak for itself. Are we ready for the giveaway then, guys? Wolven Soul, time for my 4th account. Holy cow, have you won before? Let me jump down a little bit then, guys. Yeah, I'm way behind. Sorry, guys. I'm slow today. All right, exclamation mark ammo 2, and I'm pulling it in just a few seconds, guys. So, Henrik, when do you plan to open up a psychiatric hospital for all of us that have spent over 5k hours in the game? That is an impressive number. When you're up in 5k, getting closer to my range, then yes, that's impressive. That's impressive. Then you are no noob anymore, and indeed, you may need to have that support. We will see how we handle it. Alvarin Supreme, eh? Think of the villas. Oof. Ooh. 5k hours, what the heck? That's over 6 hours a day for 2 years. That's nothing, my friend. That's nothing. When you come up in my another digits, that's when you are with the boys, you know, the boys. Henrik, what should I do if I have 5k hours but I'm still a nude? If you're a nude, you need to get dressed, my man. Nah, it's okay. In time, you will get there. It's in time. Online 2 has really pushed my Twitch channel to grow. I've been trying all sorts to get more than one butt viewer. This game has given me the desire to continue streaming. The game is great and I have no regret in my purchase. I love it. Thank you very much, Twisted Tap. And you're gonna love it even more in the upcoming month. Trust me. Blood, sweat and tears is being spent into the patches, including the blue bottle of salty tears. All of that gonna give you a unique, exciting gaming experience. Take my word for it. Take my word for it. Right. Yes, blood, Tindrem, blood. And the blue bottle, Anuxa. Carney tears, eh? I almost feel sorry for Carney. I hear so much bashing against the Carney. Let's pull the giveaway, guys. It's time. It's time. Let's see. All right. Let's do it. All right, here goes, guys. I say good luck to everyone. And where the hell is here? All right. Good luck. We start the giveaway. Boom. It is time. Good luck. Another one. And here we go. I'm a Zippo. You're a noob. I can hear that instantly. Congratulations, 4 killas 17. Congratulations. I'm a Zippo. I can hear that you're a complete noob, so you know I don't. I'm not bashing because we have all been noobs at one time, right? And since you think I have 2,000 hours, I never hit someone or killed anyone, I feel very sorry for you to be so behind the lights. That is almost crazy. But like I said, we all been noobs, right, Zippo? So keep training and you may get a little bit better eventually. And, you know, that's how it works. Practice makes perfect. Congratulations for killas 17. Skål. Are you in here? Send me a little private message here on Twitch and I will send that key right over. So let's be real now. In over 2,000 hours, the most fun I've ever had in a game is fighting Clothes Queen out in the open during an event. This was without a doubt the most organic feeling content we ever completed. I really hope you guys move further into this direction in the future. As mentioned before, we do have quite a few grand scale events that we're gonna trigger and start up that players can participate if they want to or not, obviously, from smaller scale to very much large scale. And then, as I mentioned before, we have these quite expanding points of interest that also will tap into a little bit of these more different types of experience. So yeah, for sure. Where do we have 4 killas? Blah 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 again. Cranny cut, you blah blah master. You blah blah master. For killas 17, are you here? Send me a little message. And I thought of restarting the Rise animation. That was the most fun I had in Model 1 too. Oh man, trust me, that wait a little bit and you're gonna see what I mean with those grand events, including invasions. Alright? He sent you a message already. I don't see it. I am looking at it. I'm looking at it. No, you haven't messaged me. Mad, Henrik. Why would I be mad, Quennicut? Why would I be mad? We have exciting times ahead, and we built a master plan, and now we are taking those steps, and I'm just excited for the future. One of the bandits looks just like you. Did you make him look like you on purpose? Maybe. Now we got it. I was playing Mortal, wasn't paying attention. That's alright, that's alright. Let me grab you that key. Un momento. Boom! Congratulations again for that key. Where is the master plan? It is an internal plan in a new system, and we're gonna see the fruits of that in our upcoming patches. That is the plan. The ring fix rate for fishing will be in the Necro patch. Bells. Why are there no potatoes in game? I don't know if there was potatoes on Nave. We're not on Earth, remember that. We're not on Earth. Food system kind of dry. Yeah, we will have a little update on food soon. I'm discussing it with Mats, how we can give it a little punch. Unreal 5 will be included on the roadmap on the website soon, and we will, as we progress, show you the sneak peeks on the transition into fully Unreal 5, and that's very exciting. So we're gonna share a lot of that in upcoming streams. It will be we'll move from one of the most beautiful MMO game to the absolutely most beautiful MMO game in all time when we step over to Unreal 5. It's gonna be awesome. When can we do drugs and alcohol in the game while also partaking them in real life? There are already the possibility to make alcoholic stuff and drugs in Mortal, and we're gonna add those jars to pour them up, and pipes, so you can smoke pipes as well with some different effects. Wait, did I miss a little? Can you tell me if the loot log and or rare trinket log from rings are applied to fishing? Let me think how it works. I don't think so. If I'm not mistaken. There's the fishing rates determines the trinket, and then there is a rate that can affect your trinket though, if it is a trinket when you fish it up. Try salve from the Madrilli Dog Dealers. Philip's car. No, I missed it. Is it worth it? Is it worth it? Any complaints on any more armor sets for light 2 kilo mages? Super cool looking long hooded robes. We have quite a lot of plans to add a lot of clothes and light armors and also heavy armors. So again, we have a certain prioritized order right now that we're gonna focus on for a few months, and then we are gonna hit quite a bit of various content areas, and one of them is clothing and armor and gear. Badge is around the corner, Quennicott. Come, my ugly brother, I go for all. All right, I will visit. Let's do a little play session next, right? I'm gonna make sure my client is up to date and running on this computer, and we can have some in-game fun. I'm just getting out. What did I miss? You missed some roasting, and you missed a giveaway, and then the common Q&A. Nothing very secret. July Necro, yes. Add more devs, we have. Take some time to educate them as well. We can't just throw in a bunch more because then we're gonna stand completely still educating them, because again, we want stability and improvement moving forward from here on, and that is very important. And the sneak peeks, I actually didn't manage to get some sneak peeks because I was planning, I thought I had Mortal installed on this one and we're set to do some game sessions. Sadly I failed on that, so next time on that I think. It's true that you can't hire people outside of Sweden. No, we can hire people outside of Sweden. We have a lot of people worldwide now. That is also why we need to have a system and structure in place so it works efficiently. No, there's always some psychopaths that have to express their psychotic sentences. You know, you can't get rid of them all. They are here amongst us on Earth, and they're shitheads, and they don't deserve much. They don't deserve any place amongst us. So I don't hope well on that, Amphi. But yeah, we need to clear them out so we can have a solid community together, guys. Cheaters will always be cheaters. That's how it is. And some people don't have a limit on, you know. You can be rude and act an asshole, but you don't step beyond some borders if you are human. But yeah, some people are not humans. That's how it is. I'll be learning on Refile. Almost got a portfolio made. Will be applying to your team soon. That is awesome to hear. Feel free to apply. Trinkets crafting when? I can't say when, Bad Magic. I can't say when. But eventually you will see it on roadmap, and that will give you a rough estimate on when you can expect it. Can you just be blunt? Tell us if Necro is early next week. That is too blunt. That is too blunt. I don't dare to speculate that accurate date at this point still. But like I said, it's soon. We're getting there for sure. Henrik, toxic. What? Am I toxic? I don't think so. Am I toxic? Try to be polite.
Oh my god.
Thank you for work and passion. Sorry about the scumbags. Roadkill Wars, thank you very much. And thank you for your kind words. That is equally important for the team, you know, to hear and see that kind of support. Because we all know that there's enough scumbags as well. That's how it is. But I mean, overall, I'm still very happy with the community. A lot of good people amongst some not as good, but I think we have a pretty good base. This is my first game. Thanks for all the hard work. Thank you very much, Diesel baby. Glad to hear it. Did my subscription go through? Hustler. Not sure if I've seen it. Or it should be a notification for all the subscription. So I'm not sure if I see it. They love this game so much. I'm playing 16 hours a day. That is quite a lot, Zippo. Game looks amazing. This is my favorite game. Never played a game this much. Thank you very much. Happy to hear it. It's getting warmer and warmer in this room. The computer is warming things up. No, I think the real weakness was removed from this Twitch. I think Ori moved over to stream on YouTube instead, if I'm not mistaken. We're able to hire an animator on 3. We are still looking for more animators. It's a slow progress when it comes to animating, especially for Unreal and what we're looking for. There's been quite a few we checked through, but again, we also want them to be quite experienced and seniors. We don't want to spend time in teaching animation, so that puts it in a little bit more difficult area to find those. So we are still looking for additional animators. We are around 40 developers in total. This game is so good it cured my depression. Glad to hear it. There will be gold sinks. Additional costs on things. No, I have like 26 Celsius in the room right now. The computer is slowly heating up. So it's a little hot. The animations are great so far, very detailed. Yeah, I think we have been doing a pretty good job overall when it comes to delivering high levels of most things for such a small team. Again, compared to any other MMO, it's quite hard to compare. You know, just starting with we're just a fraction amount of the developers and also a fraction of the resources, but we're still pushing quite hard when it comes to the visual level, I think. When we see armor for bears and stuff, yeah, so that comes along with animation work. So the system is there to support it, but for us to put players on new mounts, gears on any animals, we need animators to do that work. It's pretty much skinning, rigging, that kind of assets on the creatures. So again, it comes down to animation manpower. That is why we're looking to expand that field. Don't think now might be a good time to hire and train mid-level animators since things are slow with project polish. The thing is, we are working heavily on animation already, that we are a little bit behind, that we want to finish and get on track on. There's often animation in so many things. Just for instance, Necromancy requires animation work quite a lot. New bosses and creatures that do specific things again requires animation work. Yeah, and it takes time if it needs to look realistic and believable next gen, which we're always aiming for. And also one of our senior animators that are also extremely technical, he's also one of our main coders. He started more as an animator and he's real awesome at animators, but he's now more over the years transferred into more code focus, and he's a genius in many areas when it comes to coding. So we really want to utilize his skills as much as possible there, and that is also part of the helping improving the core in some of the issues. So yeah, it's tricky to occupy some of these guys to train new animators. Should be able to maintain and train upcoming animators. If you can't trust new employees, why even hire to begin with? No, no, of course. It is an investment that we are doing. It's just that we have invested a lot in that lately. So we have to be careful not just to put everything on hold and, educating new people. The thing is, there are seniors out there that are experienced that can get into the pipeline very efficiently and do awesome work for us. And that's what we are aiming for right now. We don't want to educate many more new developers. We are looking for experienced seniors currently in some areas, so it can much more quickly become a great asset to the development because we have the fundings for it. Osic85, thank you for the prime. Send a list of position you're hiring for. Should be on our website, Starvolt. We may need to update it. I haven't watched it lately. But again, we're always keeping an eye out for any talent or senior position, depending on what area. It's not very easy to find, and also because, especially looking for either very high talent or senior, to minimize the education part or trainee part. Wish I could plant my right seeds. Yeah, we will get farming along with TC, where you'll be able to grow your own crops in different forms, including breeding. So soon, in time. I fixed the jungle spot where everyone crashed. I know we have fixed some of those. We had 2 specific ones. I know we fixed one. I don't know if we fixed the second one or how that was related. I need an update, and or if the test team guys have some more information regarding that. But I know we've done some progress for sure. We're considering rerolls tokens in Model 1. We have to see down the road how that will work and how that impact things. So it's a little bit too early to put our mind on that function currently. If you're a developer in another country, is it possible to work remote, or do I have to move to Sweden? No, we actually have more developers outside of Sweden now than we have in Sweden, because we are looking for specific developers every now and then, and we don't want to limit it. And since we also have working systems in place that works very well with remote work or distance work, depends a little bit on the position, but yes, we have position for remote. Will they implement pledge system for roadmap or just be funded through subscribers? I'm not sure. I mean, right now we have been, lucky enough to have enough interest and support, and we sold quite a few copies on release. Then we paused things a little bit, so obviously we have slowed down things, even though we are increasing the costs. But it's not that we are in a bad position. We have a very solid plan moving forward now, and that obviously milestone will reach, or make a turn where we are planning to grow again population-wise and increase sales, and eventually with the milestone also start subscription. And if everything is going as plans, that means that we should be able to keep on going, expanding and growing. So we will see, depending on how everything progresses. Yeah, pets in houses is on our fixed list. There's a specific number system we need in player houses to pets to work properly. Why don't you hire Crimson? I think he's a game dev genius. Sure, 18. Yeah, that's pretty much what we've done now. We stopped the content to focus heavily on fixing and polishing only before we start going back heavily into content.
Oh my god.
Stan, thank you very much for the subscription. I mean donation. Sorry. Crimson already said that Starlord wouldn't afford him. I don't think we would hire him, so it's okay. It's clear he is looking at a completely different game than we are, and that's fine, you know. Got a mug too, can't wait to drink Carnimara. Tears from it. Total domination. Indeed, indeed. Darnish art, yeah, you know, like I said before, there will be morons and idiots, and we knew that when this same day we announced Modern Online, we got to experience that at the first time, even though we just showed this is a game that's gonna be released in the future. Still, that's enough to bring out some morons to, I don't know what, it's very strange, but it is what it is. Can I make a suggestion? Have one of our team write down the question and your answers. We are doing those summarized already and put them on a website on YouTube, so you can skip through the hours and go straight to what may interest you. So X11, we're already doing that. No Molva, then Modline to have no soul, plain and simple. We will have the Molvas relax, they will come back. And updates on Lawless zones. We will add those zones along with Milan updates on all the regions that we are tweaking, balancing, adding content and fun stuff on, including those zones. So after Necro. The game could be perfect and people will still complain. That is very true. So it can't ever be perfect because that's impossible. And yeah, people will never agree either on many things. And the more complicated dynamic and open a game is, like Mortal Online, even more difficult that will become. So that's why we learned that over the years as well, that we need to follow that red line and be on a control and just offer all those different areas and not just be stuck on one area, because the game is all about a true sandbox MMORPG. There will be a summarized on the stream on our website, posted on YouTube Rastamus, that you can scan through if there's anything you want to catch. Keep up the good work. Love the game. Yeah, thank you. Obviously, there's nothing that can stop us from fulfilling our dream and plans, and we will get there with your support as well, guys. So we really appreciate it. Yeah, it is what it is. We're used to it. There's always this one rotten person that is a very shy nerd, about 16, 17, 18 years old, I would say, living in the basement, home at mama, and he don't agree with his mama. And he have to express his anger somehow, right? And it happens to be in games, over internet. And we are not unique. Just as World of Warcraft and any other game, it happens here as well. I mean, stepping out on Unreal 5 is gonna be very exciting, because it's next gen tech and there's some really juicy stuff to play around with that obviously pushes the game forward in pushing the visual appearance, and in some areas also hopefully we will benefit from performance updates as well. So that tech gonna be awesome to work with, and there's so many cool things that we can build now that we couldn't in Unreal 4, that keeps pushing our dreams and visions that we, back then we didn't know when will those steps happen, when will the technology allow us to do stuff like that. Unreal 5 helps us to push those limits fast forward, so that is exciting to work with. And then there's Unreal 5 have quite a good support for VR. That is why we can more easily enable those functions. There's a few things that we need to work on, though, when it comes to rendering user interface and such, and some effects. Other than that, it's quite straightforward how we can at least rendering it's correctly in VR. And that is not with motion controls or stuff like that. We're still on keyboard and mouse at that first step. So that is why we are waiting a bit until we take that step when everything is in place with Unreal 5. And then there's tons of different features that's going to be exciting. I mean, boats and ships is something that I'm looking forward to. It adds a whole new gameplay type into Mortal Online. There's a few features that we're going to add before that also natural step towards boats and ships, such as wagons for heavy transporting, and but also fighting from wagons and such. And there's a few magic schools that I'm very much looking forward to as well. There is the tier 3 AI world creatures that I'm looking forward to as well. We are building some of those creatures and they look insane, and we are prepping them for Unreal 5 to be there in the top tier range as soon as we step over. So that's going to be awesome. So there's a lot coming over the years, many different features that I'm very much looking forward to. Dumpling with the nation. I believe in the power of friendship. Thank you very much. I agree. With that comes a lot of great things. Can I put a wagon on my dragon? Not sure we call it a wagon on a dragon, but maybe a saddle. Dragon riding. So most creatures in the world will be mountable, including some flying creatures, but that would not be the normal mount in any way. Huge flying creatures such as a dragon will be extremely rare and specific, but there are a few functions that will give the player some options that will be quite exciting. Will Haven become free to play? I keep hearing this. We discussed that is quite suitable to down the road do make that possible. We see it fits to allow players to try the game with limitations on Haven, where they can try the game for free, and if they like what they're experiencing and want to experiencing the whole thing without limitations, they commit by entering Milan. So yeah, we have that as a plan, and we will most likely make that happen eventually. Demoman, yeah, as I said before, to comment on the same question, I'm here to do regular streams with various types of topics and events, giveaways, show sneak peeks, etc., and also answer questions. And I answer the question that gets asked to me. And like I said, I'm not here to talk about, progression without obviously delivering. So what I said before is that we want to make sure that the game speaks for itself when we are starting deploying these patches, starting with Necromancy. So we have a improved team, new structure in place, and we will let the game speak for itself. But we still want to try to do these regular streams, events, etc., because there's an interest in doing so. And as long as that interest is there, we try to support that. DGO Josan, share with bits. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I covered dupes. So I guess that will be highlighted as well in the summarized for anyone tuning in late that want to hear response on those questions. I don't keep repeating myself. But yes, we have addressed dupings, and I talked a little bit about that earlier. With that said, we're hitting a 3-hour mark, and I think, yeah, some questions are repeating, which means we have new people tuning in. And not to bore you and repeat responding to those, I think this is the cue for me to get some night food and sleep. So yeah, as usual, thank you very much for tuning in, participating, donating, subscribing, and asking your questions. And let's see, we will do a little raid. Who do we have online today? We got Bruce. He's back. Velek Vanaheim. NDR Pro. Vamo. What say you guys? Do we have a vote? Do we wanna? Who do you wanna watch, guys? Who should we raid? Fixed game already, Smugs. That's what we've been talking about today. If you look on our update on the website, we are heading into heavily focus on polishing and fixing. So yes, we're doing it now. Bruce or Rongarni? I don't saw Rongarni. Was he online? No. Ron Carney is not online. But Bruce, should we do Bruce? Are they heading out for an adventure? Almost looks like it's always entertaining, especially if he brings his bards and snows or those guys. Very entertaining. Very entertaining. Shall we do it? Okay, guys. Again, thank you very much for tuning in. It means a lot to have your support. Nows. There's some really fun RP guys in that gang, and it's very, very much entertaining watching that. Tom Berry, yeah. Really solid bard. Alright guys, again, thank you very much for your support. It means a ton. Right? It means everything for us when working on this game. So I will be doing a little raid then. Let me see. Okay. Have a very good night, and I will see you soon again, and we will have Necromancy very soon. Very exciting, very exciting. Alright, let's do a raid. Have a good night, and thank you very much. Let's see. Here we go. Bye bye.